Shine for the visiting Brooks Wanderers. Hopefully, hitting first by right field, number 24, Bob Crusoe. In the second spot, new center fielder, number 2, Peyton Matthews. And in third, playing left field, C.J. Snowden, he's number 4. Tonight's Brewski's Beer Battlers, number 26, Troy Morrow. And Troy Morrow has made the first base. Draft beer goes on sale. Ticket for 10 at draft beer bar until the first night's at bat. Your beer battle tonight from Brewski's, number 26, Troy Morrow. Playing third, number 15, William Kirsch, and at second base, 27, Don Bastardo. Taking the seventh spot, playing first, number 6, William Orline, and the eighth spot, their shortstop, number 10, Seth Weaver. And ready at their batters tonight is their catcher, number 33, Kai Hoffman. The starting pitcher for the Brooks Wanderers is number 21, Brian Rogers. Here are your umpires for today's game as assigned by the Western Canadian Baseball League. For more information, visit westerncanadianbaseballleague.ca. At home plate tonight is Sean Underhill. At first base is Hunter Watt, and at the third base line, the veteran, Don Vasquez. Before we begin today's game, we're going to take a moment to honor and remember two beloved members of our community, Henry Burchell and Lenny Hodder. Henry and Lenny were more than familiar faces at the ballpark. They were rays of sunshine, a true staple of Fort McMurray, and the kind of people that make this town feel like home. Their warmth, kindness, and unwavering community spirit touched the lives of so many. Today, their legacy lives as their grandchildren take to the field to throw up the ceremonial first pitch, a tribute to two lives beautiful life and people life. Henry and Lenny will be forever missed, but never forgotten. Now, let's have a pitch from the grandchildren to get this game started in style. Way to go. Thank you so much. And your grandfathers will always be remembered here. It's at this time that we invite the coaches to home plate for our pregame meeting. First, Giants designated hitter from Langley, British Columbia, number 28, Elijah Oil. The Giants center fielder in the second spot from Pflugerville, Texas, number 26, Connor Ray. In third, from Brookport, Texas, playing right field, number 21, Lane Snow. In cleanup on first base from Monument, Colorado, number 34, Matt Rose. In the 6 spot from Calgary, Alberta, number 17, Carter Hurkin. 97th from Calgary, Alberta, Giant shortstop, number 16, Ben Schwinson. The Giants left fielder from London, Ontario, in the 8th spot, number 14, Camden Sanders. Giants second baseman in the 9th spot from Delta, British Columbia, number 32, Scott Allen. And make some noise from Bakersfield, California, Giants starting pitcher, number 40, William Taft. The Fort McMurray Giants acknowledge that this game is being played on Treaty 8 territory, the ancestral home of the Korean Dene, and the unceded territory of the Métis. As long as the sun shines, the rivers flow, and the grass grows, we will honor these lands. It's at this time that we ask that you rise if you are able and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
It is a monumental game here at Legacy Dodge Field. Two teams in the midst of the hunt for the fourth and final playoff spot in the West Division. Three teams all at 19 wins with about a week left to go in the regular season. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Matthew Decker at Legacy Dodge Field, and we can't understate how massive of a game this one is tonight. For both these teams, you could classify it as a must-win. Both teams sitting at 19 wins alongside with the Energy City Cactus Rats. The difference is Fort McMurray and Energy City have played one fewer game than Brooks. The Giants also have the tiebreaker right now and are currently sitting in that final playoff spot. But in a race where the positions have flip-flopped every single day, it's just getting even more and more interesting as we get closer to the end of the regular season on Monday. Fort McMurray, they will turn to Liam Taft to get them started on the mound this evening. It'll be his 8th start of the year, a .466 ERA in 44.1 innings pitched. He has 35 strikeouts to his name, has given up 54 hits. His last game was on the 27th, where he went 4 innings against Sylvan Lake in the 12-2 loss. Was credited with the losing decision in that game, giving up 9 hits and 7 runs. He will look to bounce back from that performance. He's had a few excellent games this year. 7 innings and a 3-2 win over Sylvan Lake on July 18th. Solid 5 innings of work against Okotoks on July 12th. A win against Swift Current on the 24th of June. So he is more than capable. The Bakersfield, California kid, a guy who loves to pitch and show his heart on his sleeve. And the first batter he will face will be beneficial for the Brooks Bombers. went 3 for 5 last night, is currently on an 8-game hitting streak. We get set for the first pitch of the game at 7:07. Swinging a ground ball to Taft, but it goes through his legs. Swimminson with the play, not in time. You can almost call it an error against Liam Taft, but Schwemminson did have a chance to make the play a fraction late, and Fischel ends up on first base. It sounds like they're going to credit Liam Taft with the error on the play. It looked to be a routine ground ball up the middle to him, and somehow it bounced away. Now Peyton Matthews will step to the dish, takes a strike on his first pitch from Liam Taft. You never know what you're going to get between these two teams. They have been dead even so far this year. 6 games, both teams have won 3. 0-1 pitch, fouled off by Matthews. You have your Fort McMurray, just forget about the previous play, bounce back, focus on the next batter, which is Peyton Matthews. He went 1 for 5 last night. That lone hit, however, was an RBI double, bringing in 2 runs to score. He's got Fischel at first, nobody out. The 0-2 pitch coming up. Swung on and missed. And an excellent bounce back from Liam Taft, striking out Matthews in 3 straight pitches. And a point from Rico Domingo to his pitcher saying, "Attaboy, that's how you come back." CJ Snowden now steps up to the dish. He went 2 for 6 last night. Had a double and RBI. He's currently on a 4-game hit streak as well. Snowden, the left-handed batter from Chandler, Arizona. He did get grazed by the pitch from Taft. And now it's runners on first and second with 1 out. Troy Morrow, the designated hitter, is now up at the plate. He went 1 for 5 last night. It's feeling similar to the position that the Brooks Bombers put the Giants in last night. First inning, Brooks managed to load the bases with only 1 out. However, Fort McMurray dug themselves out of that hole. Managed to escape the first inning without conceding a run. Taft resets, getting ready for the 1-0 pitch. And just outside for a ball. The count is now 2-0. It's been a series, both teams very vocal, not afraid to go back and forth. You can hear the Brooks dugout from our press box. And this one fouled off over top of the press box. The count is now 2-1. It just shows how much this game means to both these two teams. It's easy to look at the standings and go, well, of course it's massive, but when you have that energy in the dugout, when you have that energy up and down the lineup, it can help elevate your game to the next level. And this one is popped into the outfield. Back to the warning track, making the catch is Camden Sanders. It was a timing play. The Brewskis beer batter is now out. And it's 2 retired for Fort McMurray in the top of the first. Liam Kerr steps up to the plate. Went 1 for 2 last night, was walked 3 different times. Has hits in 9 of his last 12 games. You can tell that last batter with Morrow. The runners were trying to time a deep hit. And any other ballpark than Fort McMurray, that probably would have been a home run. First pitch fouled off by Liam Kirsch. Kirsch, who was a freshman at Indiana State University. Grounder right to Liam Taft, makes the catch, does an underhand toss, and that will do it for the top of the first. No score between these two teams. It's a giant matchup here at Legacy Dodge Field with playoff implications. Castle Rock, Colorado's Brian Walters will get the start for the Brooks Bombers tonight. This will be the 8th start of the season for Walters, 10th appearance of the year. Has a 1-4 record with the Bombers so far, 7.15 ERA in 39 innings pitched. He's got 34 strikeouts to his name against 45 hits. Last game was on the 29th, where he only pitched 2/3 of an inning, giving up 2 hits in the 4 batters that he faced. His last start would have been against the Okotoks Dogs, went 7 innings in that game in a 4-1 loss. Capable of going long in games is Brian Walters, looking to do that tonight as his Brooks Bombers are hoping to step into the 4th and final playoff spot. And the first batter he'll face against Fort McMurray is Elijah Olabel. Pitch inside for a ball. Olabel, the Langley, BC product, hits in 10 of his last 13 games. He managed 1 last night, struck out twice in 5 at-bats. As a grounder, he'll go to the second baseman, Bastardo. His throw was high but corralled by Ormond. Puts the tag, and that will be 1 man retired for Brooks in the bottom of the first. Connor Rainey is next up to bat for Fort McMurray. 0 for 3 last night, was walked twice, struck out twice as well. Looking to find his groove offensively. He's only managed 1 hit in his last 8 games. And the first pitch he faces is high for a ball. Again, these two teams very evenly matched so far this season, both winning 3 games against each other. Both with 19 wins on the year. Fort McMurray, though, having played 1 fewer game than the Bombers. They also have the tiebreaker between themselves and the Energy City Cactus Rats. Swinging strike this time, and Rainey falls in behind of the count. It's 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Fly ball into the outfield. It's flowing towards foul territory. And coming across to make the catch is Ben Fischel. That was in foul territory, and it's 2 away in the bottom of the first. Lane Snow, one of 2 changes to the Giants roster tonight, steps up to bat. His last game was on July 27th, where he went 0 for 4. Looking for a spark here for the Giants. Fouls off the first pitch he faces. Junior at Southwest Baptist University. A Fort Worth, Texas product. Gets set for the 0-1 pitch. Found the inside of the plate for a strike. And Snow quickly falls in behind 0-2 in the count. Next pitch into the turf. It's now a 1-2 count. Full slate of games in the WCBL this evening. Saskatoon visiting Regina. The Berries trying to break the WCBL record for most wins in a single season. They tied it last night. Snow, a grounder! Bounces off the third baseman. It will remain fair. Snow hustling, trying to get a double, and he manages to do so standing. Diving to make the play was Kirsch, but it bounced off of his glove. And Snow took advantage, gaining a pair of bases for the first hit of the game. Other games on the out-of-town scoreboard. Medicine Hat up 1-0 early against Weyburn, Lethbridge, and Sylvan Lake. That will be game 2 of their series. Okotoks plays host to Energy City. Both these teams at Legacy Dodge Field. Keeping an eye on that one. And Swift Current visiting Moose Jaw. As Matt Rhodes hammers it. This one is deep to the wall. But it is a foul ball by Matt Rhodes. That one had a vapor trail on it. The home run derby champion showing the power in his bat. But unfortunately for him, it's just a long strike. 0 for 3 last night, only has 1 hit in his last 7 games. He would love to break that streak. Butler University commit against Brian Walters, who attends Adams State University in Western Colorado. Southern Colorado. That pitch low for a ball. Rhodes, a .252 batting average so far this season, 7 home runs to his name. Gets a piece of this one. It's into foul territory. Kirsch trying to hustle across, but it's just out of his reach. Matt Rhodes stays alive in this at-bat against Brian Walters. "25 games at the collegiate level for Brian Walters, a record of 7-11. Pitched a lot, over 110 innings. As Rhodes pops it to the second baseman, it's fumbled, the throw, not in time. As both Rhodes and Snow are safe. Now, though, there's going to be an argument over this play. The Brooks players were starting to move towards the dugouts. But hold everything. What is the decision here? The initial call was safe. Bastardo made a terrific play to knock the ball down, but he couldn't handle the catch. And the throw was high. I do not believe Ormond was able to drag the foot, but the umpires are discussing this right now. And now they're saying he's out. And that will mean the end of the first inning. An explanation being given to the Giants. One away, no score here at Legacy Dodge Field. Start of the second inning, no score between Fort McMurray and Brooks, and what's been a bit of an action-packed game so far here at Legacy Dodge Field. A questionable call on the third out against the Giants. A leadoff error by Liam Taft. But neither offense has been able to take advantage. And now Abdon Bastardo is up to bat, fouled the first pitch into his ankle. He's trying to shake it loose. And the only question is with that last out, were they calling it the catch by Bastardo or the throw? It looked like he bobbled the ball in midair and it hit the ground. Either way, no score between these two teams. Another foul ball by the Bombers, and Bastardo is now down 0-2 in the count. Went 3 for 5 last night, had an RBI in the game as well. Has been one of the more reliable hitters for Brooks, playing for his hometown team. Lays off of that pitch for a ball. Uncommitted, looking for an NCAA school. Liam Taft with the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. That's the second strikeout of the game for Liam Taft. It's one down in the second. Took a look at the crowd tonight. Noticed a handful of signs in Section 3 for Liam Taft. And suspect maybe some family made the trip out from Bakersfield, California to cheer on the Allen Hancock Community College pitcher. He'll go head-to-head with Wyatt Ormond, and the first pitch just misses for a ball. Ormond hits in 6 of his last 7 games. 1 for 4 last night, but it was a 2 RBI single by Ormond to get things started. And this one's a pop-up, shallow right center field, and coming in from the outfield will be Lane Snow to make the catch. And that's 2 away for Fort McMurray in the top of the second. Seth Reeker's next one up to the dish for the Bombers. 1 for 5 last night. The shortstop looking to provide a spark for his team. A batting average of .220 on the year, 3 home runs, 21 RBIs. Against Liam Taft, first pitch swinging, and he pokes it into the outfield for a single. Bombers with a runner on the bases, and now it's at the bottom of the order with Kai Hopfeld. Had a solid night last night, 2 for 4. Counted for 2 of the runs. Hits in 8 of his last 11 games as the Bombers elected not to change their lineup this evening. First pitch swing by Hopfeld, misses. Checks his gloves, it wasn't very comfortable. Might have felt the bat slipping in his hands as he went all power on that swing. Six games with Fullerton College this past year for Hopfeld, freshman. Patient at the plate, ball evens up the count. The Giants will play 3 games against Energy City beginning on Sunday to wrap up the regular season. The Bombers, a home and home with the Lethbridge Bulls to end their campaign. This one, though, massive in the playoff race. Pitch inside for a ball, and the count is now 2-1. Runner on first, 2 outs, no score. Both teams with a hit so far in this game. A ground ball scooped up by Herkin. He'll make the throw across, and that will do it for the top of the second inning. Still no score between these two teams. Bottom of the second inning, no score between these two teams. Rico Domingo will start it off for the Giants. Pinch hit last night, 0 for 1 in the ninth. And a long fly ball scooped up by CJ Snowden, who almost got his wires crossed with Peyton Matthews, but that's A quick out by Brooks. And that will bring up Carter Herkin to the plate. Hits in 7 of his last 10 games, but he went 0 for 3 last night. Struck out twice. Did manage to get onto the bases with a walk. And first pitch swinging, but this one's into foul territory. Early on in this game, noticing that the Giants are being aggressive with the bats against Brian Walters, trying to get to him early. Another one swung on by Herkin and popped foul. Carter Herkin, the Calgary native, now in behind of the count, 0-2. And this one, a chopper scooped up and thrown to first base by Rieker. That is 2 away for the Bombers. Ben Schwimmenson is now stepping up to the plate. Had his 7-game hit streak snapped last night when he went 0 for 4, looking to start another hit streak this evening. A University of Jamestown commit, first pitch he sees, finds the inside of the plate for a strike. Schwimmenson also calls Calgary home. Pops this one, it bounces. Bastardo has it, throws it across, and it's a dropped catch by Ormond. An error as Schwimmenson is now safe at first. And this inning continues on. It's a tough catch to make, but it was in the glove of Ormond before he fumbled it. And now Camden Sanders will step up to the dish. 0 for 3, struck out each of his at-bats. That being said, he does have hits in 6 of his last 9 games. He'll take a strike in his first feed from Walters. And now the scoreboard is mirroring each other. No score, 1 hit aside, 1 error aside. The ball bobbled, but Hopful manages to hold on. And that will even up the count at 1 apiece. Here's the pitch from Walters. Slapped. Was it fair? No, it wasn't. Just pulled foul by Camden Sanders. A small appeal by the Giants that falls on deaf ears. And the count now is 1-2 against Camden Sanders. It's a fly ball into shallow center field. Underneath of it is Peyton Matthews to make the play. 2 innings in the books. Still no score between Fort McMurray and Brooks.
Their 24th annual duck drop is coming up Sunday, August 24th. You can get your ducks for $10 apiece. You can win a WestJet voucher as well. Make sure you help out Big Brothers Big Sisters and Wood Buffalo's annual duck drop, August 24th. Check it out online.
Top of the order for the Brooks Bombers to start this third inning. Ben Fischel will get his second opportunity against Liam Taft. Fischel made first base via an error to start this game. Still no score between these two teams in a massive battle for the fourth and final playoff spot in the West Division. And for the second time, Fischel will make his way to first base, hit by a pitch. And that will now draw Peyton Matthews to the plate. Out of town scoreboard, waiting for the computer to refresh. No score between Saskatoon and Regina. The Berries trying to break the WCBL record for most wins in a single season tonight. Medicine Hat 3-1 lead on Weyburn. No score between Energy City and Okotoks. No score between Lethbridge and Sylvan Lake. And scoreless as well between Swift Current and Moose Jaw. A ball thrown to Peyton Matthews. Second pitch fouled off into the backstop. It's Ben Fischel, the runner on first base. Nobody out. Both teams with a hit, both teams with an error. No score so far in this game. Another one fouled off by Peyton Matthews just as Fischel was going to attempt to steal second. Ben Fischel has 5 stolen bases in his collegiate career with Columbia University. Ivy League school based out of New York City. Meanwhile, the 1-2 pitch to Peyton Matthews. Wide for a ball. Stolen base attempt. And Fischel gets into second base. That will move the runner into scoring position with no outs. Meanwhile, Matthews is getting set for the 2-2 pitch from Liam Taft. Here's the throw. Just outside for a ball. And it's now a full count between pitcher and batter. Matthews from Chicago, Illinois, against Bakerfield, California's Liam Taft. Nobody out. And Matthews fouls that one off, stays alive in the at-bat. You have C.J. Snowden standing in behind him in the at-bat circle. Matthews was struck out in the first, trying to prevent that fate from happening to him once again here at Legacy Dodge Field. Here's the full count pitch. Outside for a ball. That will walk Peyton Matthews and the Bombers with runners on first and second, nobody out. C.J. Snowden was hit by the first pitch he faced from Liam Taft in the first. Trying to take advantage with 2 runners on the bases, nobody out. No scores so far in this game. Lays down the bunt. Rhodes is on it first. Throws it back to first base. It's a sacrifice bunt on the play. And that will advance Matthews and Fischel to second and third base respectively. Troy Morrow flew out deep left field his first at-bat. A little bit different this go around with runners in scoring position. Taft's first pitch finds the plate, a fastball at 87 miles per hour. Gets up early in the count against Morrow. A strikeout would be massive here. The 0-1 pitch. Low for a ball. Bombers psyching up their dugout, trying to get things rolling early in this game. We're still looking for the icebreaker here at Legacy Dodge Field. Runners on second and third, 1 out. Another one just outside for a ball, and the count is now 2-1. Troy Morrow, a very successful high school player, currently a freshman at Modesto Junior College. Trying to open the scoring. The 2-1 pitch. This one is popped, it's into foul territory, and it will land beyond Sanders. The count now is 2-2. What does Liam Taft come back with here against Troy Morrow? Does he try to throw a fastball high and outside? Or does he do a changeup on Morrow? Everybody gets set for this 2-2 pitch. Runners second and third, 1 out, no score. Fastball just misses the plate, and the count is now full between Morrow and Taft. Taft looked like he was trying to get an explanation of where that pitch missed. The way that he was waving towards the umpire. The 3-2 pitch. This is another one smacked into foul territory that will land on the football field. And the at-bat continues between Morrow and Taft. We get set for the 7th pitch of this at-bat from Liam Taft. This one is slapped deep center field. Underneath it, making the catch is Rainey. Fischel will head for home, and he will score on the sacrifice fly. Brooks will open the scoring here at Legacy Dodge Field, and they have a runner at third.
Number 15, Liam Kirsch.
Liam Kirsch will now step up to bat. Grounded out to Taft to end the first inning. And this time he has Peyton Matthews standing at third. It's a ground ball. Herkin has it. He'll make the throw, and that will do it for the top of the third inning. Brooks gets one on the board to open the scoring. They lead it 1-0. Scott Allen will start the bottom of the third inning for the Fort McMurray Giants. They trail the Brooks Bombers 1-0. Allen currently on a 3-game hit streak, went 1 for 2 last night. Was also one of the 2 runs for Fort McMurray. Trying to spark the offense against Brian Walters, who's been very efficient so far in this game. First pitch by Walters finds the inside of the plate for a strike, and immediately Allen looking for an explanation of how that found the dish. Can't quite tell from our vantage point. We're right down the first baseline, not directly in behind of home plate. Second one just misses, and the count is now 1-1. Scott Allen from Delta, BC, attending Northeastern Oklahoma A&M in Miami, Oklahoma. A sophomore who has a batting average of .243 at the collegiate level. A little bit of a slow start when he joined the Giants, but started to find his groove in recent weeks. Count against him is even up at 2-2. And that one just misses, not by much. It's now a full count between Scott Allen and Brian Walters. Walters has retired the leadoff man in the first 2 innings he's pitched so far tonight, trying to do it for a 3rd straight time. Allen pokes it, sliding and missing it is both the third baseman, Kirsch, and the shortstop, Reeker. It sounds like they're going to give it as a base hit to Scott Allen, despite the fact it was a whiff by both players. Either way, for Fort McMurray, the leadoff man is on base, and Elijah Olable will step up to bat. Grounded out to the second baseman in his first appearance. Showed bunts, but it bounces into foul territory. We'll see, does he decide to do that again as he gets the signal from his manager. Allen with a short leadoff at first base, nobody out. Pickoff attempt, not in time. Allen resets, as does Elijah Olable. The label digs in for the 0-1 pitch. Showed bunt once again. The pitch finds the plate, and the label now in behind, 0-2. Elijah Olable was a game time decision. There was questions whether he'd actually play tonight or not. Went through warm-up, said he was good to go. And he swung on and missed, striking him out for the first out of the bottom of the third. That will be the first strikeout of the game for Brian Walters. Now Connor Rainey will look to see if he can advance the runners for Fort McMurray. Deep fly ball into foul territory that was caught by Ben Fischel in his first at-bat. Pflugerville, Texas product, trying to find his mojo once again. Walters looking to keep Scott Allen honest at first base. Allen does have 4 stolen bases in his collegiate career. And the first pitch to Rainey finds the inside of the zone for a strike. James Snow is standing in the on-deck circle. Meanwhile, Rainey, this is pushed. It's into right field, but it will die over top of Ben Fischel, who makes the catch, and that's out number 2 for Brooks. Fort Worth, Texas, Manlene Snow is now up at the plate. A double in his first at-bat. Would love to do that once again here as his first at-bat, a screamer that went off of the glove of third baseman Liam Kirsch and into the outfield. A player who quite fittingly uses Let It Snow as one of his walk-up songs here in Fort McMurray, and at a time of year where most people are not thinking about Christmas. Unless, of course, you are my fiance, who absolutely loves that season. Next pitch from Snow fouls it off into the sweets. We'll see if I get a text here in about 2 seconds. Another foul ball high in the air. Bombers are trying to make a play on it. Ormond manages to do so. And that will end the third inning. Giants can't reply, and they're still trailing Brooks 1-0.
Fort McMurray 468 First Nations Economic Development, New Blood, Alexander Tula, and MNB. Number 27, Adam Bastardo.
Abdon Bastardo will start things off for Brooks in this fourth inning. Bombers lead the game 1-0. Liam Taft's first pitch outside for a ball. As Bastardo struck out his first at-bat. Gets ahead of the count early on against Taft. Next pitch outside, ball number 2. Taft has been one of the consistent players for the Giants all season. Attacks batters with his fastball that reaches 90 miles per hour. Off-speed pitch that can fool him as well. Trying to regain control of this at-bat against Abdon Bastardo. Bastardo fouls that one off over top of our press box, and the count is now 2-2. 2 of the 3 leadoff men have found their way onto base for Brooks so far in this game. Taft trying to prevent that from happening a third time tonight. And he'll strike out Bastardo. That will be strikeout number 3 for Liam Taft. Wyatt Ormond, who ended the third inning with a catch while practically sitting in the netting by Brooks's dugout, is now up to bat. Flew out into right field in his first attempt in the second inning. Fouls off the first pitch he sees. Long Beach, California product, a freshman at Cerritos College, redshirted. His older brother Dean also plays at the college. He's also an accomplished batter, is Wyatt. In high school, a batting average of .517, which is unheard of. So he's got potential, just trying to find it now at the collegiate level. According to his profile with his college, he says there is a desire to eventually transfer to Cal State Fullerton, which is an NCAA Division I team. Honing his craft right now with the Brooks Bombers in the WCBL, one of the standout development leagues for collegiate athletes. Right now, Ormond finds himself in behind at the count, 1-2. Liam Taft looking for strikeout number 4. Won't get it with that pitch as it kisses the turf. Fort McMurray, their strength has been with their pitching and their defense so far this season. It's the offense that's struggled to find consistency so far this year. It's a full count against Wyatt Ormond. Here's the pitch from Taft. Swung on and missed! And that's strikeout number 4 by Taft so far tonight. Seth Reeker will step up to the plate. A single in his first showing. One that he chopped into center field, and it just dropped in front of Connor Rainey. Trying to extend the inning. Taft looking to keep his mojo going. First pitch finds the plate for a strike. That fastball reaching 88 miles per hour on the gun here at Legacy Dodge Field. And this one, it's into shallow left field, and for the second straight at bat, Reeker will work his way to first base. It will draw the bottom of the order and catcher Kai Hopfel to the plate. Hopfel grounded out to third baseman Carter Herkin back in the second to end the top of the second for the Bombers. Looking to avoid that here in the fourth. And first pitch swinging. Fouled off by Hopfel. It's Liam Taft heading to Mid-American Christian University at the NAIA level next season. Next pitch just misses low and outside for a ball. And a solid year with Allen Hancock Community College in Santa Maria, California. 40 strikeouts. Also had a couple of saves to his name. And again, been playing primarily a starter role for the Giants. Throws another strike against Kai Hopfel. Taft looking for that 5th strikeout of the game to end the top of the 4th. Runner on first. 2 outs. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. And that is strikeout number 5 of the night for Liam Taft. Giants still down 1-0 in this game. Bottom of the 4th inning, Fort McMurray trails this game 1-0. Matt Rhodes steps up to bat. A ground out in the 1st inning that led to a little bit of controversy. It looked like he was safe at first, but after a huddle from the umpires overturned the ruling. He'll take a ball from Brian Walters to start this at bat. Both teams with a pair of hits and an error in this game, but it's the Bombers who've brought one across home plate. Fort McMurray trying to spark the offense. So far, they've managed the fewest hits in the league, fewest runs, most strikeouts against, lowest batting average, but they have produced at times and in bunches. They did it once in this home series against Brooks. The first game, 6 runs in the 4th en route to a 6-2 victory. Matt Rhodes probably with the most power as a batter on this Giants roster. So far being patient. And he's up in the count, 3-1. There's the pitch from Walters. Finds the zone. The count is now full. Well, Brooks' defense has had its questions this season as well. They've given up the 3rd most runs, committed the 2nd most errors in the WCBL, but we haven't seen much of that over the last couple of games. That one fouled off by Matt Rhodes. The at-bat continues as we get set for pitch number 7. It's a battle of Colorado. Rhodes from Monument. Walters from Castle Rock. Foul ball into the suites right next to our press box. a hazard we don't need to worry about too much here at Legacy Dodge Field, at least not the crew in the press boxes. We're in behind of glass. Not like a couple years ago when they were outside. And this one, a fly ball into left field. It's floating foul, and coming across is CJ Snowden to make the snag. That will sit down Matt Rhodes for the first out of the bottom of the fourth. Rico Domingo steps up for the second time tonight. The Vancouver, British Columbia native flew out in his first at-bat to left fielder CJ Snowden. He'll take a strike on the first pitch he receives from Walters. Walters, a very experienced pitcher at the collegiate level. Junior at Adams State University in Alamosa, Colorado. A couple hours south of Colorado Springs. Anyone enjoys national parks, it's, I believe, about 3.5, 4 hours east of Mesa Verde National Park. And right now, Walters with the advantage. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed by Domingo. And that will be strikeout number 2 of the night for Brian Walters. Carter Herkin will look to extend the 4th inning for Fort McMurray. Grounded out to the shortstop, Reeker, in the 2nd. Right now, it's a defensive struggle here at Legacy Dodge Field. First pitch floats and finds the plate. Be a strike against Carter Herkin. No 1 pitch. Just misses. Evens the count at 1 apiece. It's hard to really pinpoint where the offensive struggles start for Fort McMurray. As Herkin will foul this one off into his leg. Not quite sure if it's just over-aggressive at the plate, swinging at more pitches than maybe they should. But the numbers do speak for themselves when you have the lowest batting average, fewest hits, most strikeouts against. It's not a good combination. However, they are still very much in control of their own destiny for the 4th and final playoff spot. Currently with the tiebreaker against Energy City. Of course, Brooks, Fort McMurray, Energy City all sitting at 19 wins. With only a few days remaining in the regular season. 2-2 pitch. Another one that hits the plate, and it's a full count between Carter Herkin and Brian Walters. Of course, Fort McMurray and Energy City, 3 games to wrap up the regular season. That could very well decide the final playoff spot. Don't discount Brooks. They are a very streaky team, and when they are hot, they can be very difficult to dispatch. Just ask some of the big boys in the league like Okotoks, Sylvan Lake, and Lethbridge. They've at times had their struggles against the Bombers. Full count pitch, 2 outs. And it's inside. Herkin will be walked. And it sounds like it might have actually caught Carter Herkin, so he might have made it to first base via hit by pitch. Either way, the Giants have a runner. Ben Schwimmenson will step up to bat, made it onto first via error in the second. He'll take a ball on his first pitch by Brian Walters. Schwimmenson, the Calgary, Alberta product. This one he punches it into the outfield. Coming around to third is Herkin, and the Giants with runners on the corners, 2 outs. Looking, knocking, trying to tie up this game here at Legacy Dodge Field. Camden Sanders will come up to bat for the Giants. Meanwhile, Brooks, a meeting at the mound with their pitching coach and the entire infield. As we take a quick look at the other town scoreboard, while Regina was leading Saskatoon 4-0, now the Berries are up 5-4 in that game. Medicine Hat leading Weyburn 5-3. Sylvan Lake has opened up a 4-0 lead on Lethbridge. Scoreless between Energy City and Okotoks. And Swift Current trailing Moose Jaw 3-0 at Rosswells Park. Meeting is done. Up at the plate, Camden Sanders flew out his last at-bat. This time, however, he's got runners at first and third and looking to tie up the contest. Brian Walters, his first pitch, low for a ball. Not seeing any activity from either bullpen in this game, as the teams are going to try to lean on their starters to go deep in this contest. A 1-0 pitch from Walters. Swung on and missed by Sanders. Sanders was expecting the off-speed pitch, but he was still ahead of that curveball by Walters. Evens the count. Pickoff attempt. Schwimmenson gets back in time. For Schwimmenson, that means he'll restart his bid for a hit streak. Now hits in 8 of his last 9 games. 1-1 pitch. High for a ball. Sanders looking to take his time. Try to take advantage with a runner in scoring position. 2-1 pitch. Fastball that's fouled off by Sanders into the backstop. Sanders struggled at the plate last night, striking out in all 3 of his at-bats. But that can be forgotten here. So he gets set for the 2-2 pitch. 2 out, 2 on. A 1-0 game in favor of the Bombers. This one is wired, but fouled on down the third base line. Sanders got the pitch he was looking for, and if that was about 6 feet to the right, it would have for sure brought home Carter Herkin, and Schwimmenson may have had a shot as well, as he was bolting for second base before the ball was out of the hand of Walters. Instead, it remains 2-2. And that one finds the inside of the plate. It's a strikeout by Brian Walters. And it ends the 4th inning. Fort McMurray still trails the game 1-0.
Construction, Alberta Lumber, and Weaver Rentals. Now heading for the visiting Brooks Bombers, number 24, Ben Fishel.
Back to the top of the order for the Brooks Bombers, who lead this game 1-0. It's the 5th inning. Ben Fishel has made it on base each of his 2 at-bats, although technically still 0 for 0 as he reached via error in his first attempt, hit by pitch his second. Takes a ball to start this at-bat against Liam Taft. It's one thing that Fishel does a terrific job of, even at the collegiate level, is getting himself on base. .443 on-base percentage of Columbia University. It's among the league leaders in batting average in the WCBL. And this one, he'll poke into right field for a leadoff single. Showing us exactly why he is one of the better hitters in the league. Peyton Matthews is now next up, 0 for 1 tonight, but he took a walk his last at-bat. As the Bombers are trying to find a little bit of insurance in this 5th inning. So far, they've had a good show from their pitcher, Brian Walters. Taft has been solid, 5 strikeouts so far tonight, but this is a chopper. It's over the head of Schwimmenson. Coming down is Sanders to limit it to just a single. Once again, the Bombers with runners on first and second, nobody out, putting themselves in prime position here at Legacy Dodge Field. CJ Snowden. Sacrifice bunt, his last at bat. Taft just keeping Fishel honest at second. A lob to Schwimmenson and not really a full attempt to pick off the runner. Here's the pitch to Snowden. Snowden swinging, pops it up. It's in foul territory. Sanders trying to come across, and he'll make the grab. That is one down, and an important one for Fort McMurray at that. They will now take on Troy Morrow, who had a sacrifice fly in the 3rd for the lone run of the game. Even more important for the Giants, 1 out, runners remain on first and second, as they try to remain solid defensively in this contest. First pitch, fastball, finds the plate for a strike. Liam Kirsch in the on-deck circle for Brooks. Meanwhile, Taft gets set for the 0-1 pitch. It's a grounder just out of the reach of Matt Rhodes, who is at a full stretch. That will bring Fischel home, and it's a double for Troy Morrow to extend the Bombers' lead. They are now up 2-0. Rhodes was at a stretch, but he just missed the ball, which flew to the corner. A massive moment for the Bombers in this game. They're now up 2-0 and runners in scoring position. Rico Domingo comes over for a brief conversation with Liam Taft. The Giants, they do have somebody warming up in their bullpen right now. Can't quite tell. It might be Flynn McGahan, but I'm not 100% certain. Liam Kirsch now up to bat, 0 for 2 so far tonight. Grounded out to the third baseman in his last appearance. He'll take a ball from Liam Taft. And this is a pivotal moment in the game. Fort McMurray's offense has struggled to really get any type of traction so far. Brooks has been opportunistic with their 5 hits. The top of the order has done the damage so far. And with runners on second and third, the Giants are hoping the defense can keep them in it. Infielders are pinching in. Here's the 2-0 pitch from Liam Taft. Misses inside. And the count is now 3-0. It's quiet right now here at Legacy Dodge Field. Most of the noise from the Brooks dugout. That one. Oh, everybody but the umpire thought it was a strike. Instead, it's a 4-pitch walk against Liam Kirsch. And Abden Bastardo will step up to the plate. Bases loaded, only 1 out. Bastardo struck out in each of his 2 at-bats so far tonight. And his first pitch smacks into the outfield. 1 comes to score. A throw to home. 2 will score for the Bombers. An RBI single for Abdon Bastardo. And Brooks now leads it 4-0. And it looks like that will do it for Liam Taft tonight. Gives up 3 runs in the 5th. And it appears that the Australian Flynn McGahan will step in to pitch for Fort McMurray. This will be the 5th appearance of the year by McGahan. 5 innings of work, 4 strikeouts, 3 hits. He also has a save so far this season. But McGahan trying to settle things down for the Giants as the Bombers have blown this game wide open, having taken a 4-0 lead. McGahan was playing in the West Coast League earlier this year with the Cowlitz Black Bears. 5 games with them, 8 strikeouts and 7.2 innings pitched. Decided to step down to the Western Canadian Baseball League. Perth, Australia native, a freshman at Iowa Western Community College. Can McGahan settle things down for the Giants in the top of the 5th? At the very least, try to keep them within striking distance. There will be runners on 1st and 3rd for the Bombers, as Wyatt Ormond will step up to the plate. 0 for 2 so far tonight. Struck out his last at-bat, as Brooks finds a way to chase Taft from the game. McGahan settles in, gets ready for his first pitch against Ormond. And that misses high for a ball. Fans thought it was a strike here at Legacy Dodge Field, as they're giving it to the umpire right now. It's an underappreciated position in all sports, being a referee or an umpire. That's a strike thrown by McGahan. Pastardo makes it to second base uncontested. Now runners at 2nd and 3rd. Only 1 out. Brooks leads it 4-0. Ground ball scooped up by Schwemmensen. He'll make the throw, but more importantly, he also holds the bomber at 3rd and Liam Kirsch and prevents him from advancing to home. That could be a massive moment for the Giants. Now 2 down in the top of the 5th. Seth Rieker, he's had a terrific game so far. Pair of singles in his first 2 at-bats. Runners in scoring position, looking to further increase this Bomber lead. First pitch just misses for a ball, according to our umpire. Even the pitcher up in the broadcast booth, Riley Burns, thought that was a strike, along with 500 fans here at Legacy Dodge Field. Next one just misses. A fastball this time at 86 miles per hour. And question mark over why our umpire was signaling into the outfield, the infield? Nobody knows. A 2-0 count for Flynn McGahan against Seth Rieker. Fastball swung on and missed. McGahan needed that pitch to get himself back into this at-bat. Against Fontana, California, Seth Rieker, a sophomore at Adams State. Two seasons with Adams State and 367 at-bats. He's relied on a consistent basis. This fly ball into the left field. Under it is Camden Sanders, and that will do it for the top of the 5th. Giant strand 2, but the damage has been done. Brooks leads this game 4-0.
Baseman 32, Scott Allen.
Scott Allen will get his second at-bat of the game, a single back in the third. His Giants trail the contest 4-0. Heading into the bottom of the fifth, Brian Walters remains on the mound for Brooks. And the first pitch finds the plate for a strike. Generally speaking, Walters has done a terrific job of getting those strikes on his first pitch. Giants, not so much. One feed. Misses for a ball, and the count is now even at 1 apiece. At this point, if you're Fort McMurray, you can't worry about the score right now. Just focus on the fundamentals, get a man on base, try to chip away. It's a foul ball straight up in the air, and it looks like it's going to float into the crowd. Count against Scott Allen is now 1-2. And Allen swings on and misses. That is the fourth strikeout of the game by Brian Walters. Again, someone who has consistently gone long into contests. Five of the 9 games he's played in so far this year have either gone 5 innings or more. He's gone over 7 twice. Did that July 25th against Okotoks and July 11th against Sylvan Lake. 7 and 7.1 innings respectively. Trying to do the same here. A label, a ground ball that goes right to Bastardo, and that's 2 away for Brooks in the bottom of the 5th. That really has been the difference in this game. The Bombers have been able to get about 5 or 6 batters to the plate per inning. Fort McMurray has been averaging around 4. As Rainey laid off the pitch, but it still found the inside of the plate for a strike. Rainey flew out to right field in both of his at-bats this evening. There's another fly ball out to right field. There's a miscommunication, and it's dropped on the play in foul territory by Wyatt Ormond. That will give Connor Rainey a little more life. Connor Rainey now back up to bat, 0-2 in the count. Nobody on, 2 outs. This time a ground ball. It bounces towards the third baseman, Kirsch, who collides with his shortstop, Rieker. That allows Connor Rainey to get to first base safely. They will mark that as a hit for Connor Rainey despite the miscue between Kirsch and Rieker. And now Lane Snow will step up to the plate. 1 for 2 tonight. Trying to give the Giants a spark in this game. They trail it 4-0. It's a pivotal showdown. A must-win game, if you will, for both these two teams, especially for Brooks, who's played one more game than both Fort McMurray and Energy City. Walters gets Snow to pop it up in shallow left field, and this time Rieker will make amends for his mistake and makes the catch. 5 innings in the books Brooks leads it 4-0.
Having a blast with all friends tonight. Make sure you keep the fun going all season long by following the Giants on Facebook. Stay in the loop with all of our exciting theme nights, giveaways, and special events. You won't want to miss a single pitch of the action. Don't miss out tomorrow's game, 2:05 Eastern Time. Make sure you're here for the big game tomorrow.
Kai Hopfill leads the Brooks Bombers back onto the field for the top of the 6th inning. He'll take a strike from Flynn McGahan. Brooks leading this contest 4-0. It's a massive showdown between these two teams. Only half a game separates Fort McMurray in the 4th and final playoff spot from Brooks, who are sitting in 6th place. The score that both these teams will be happy with comes from Siemens Stadium in Okotoks, where the Dogs lead the Energy City Cactus Rats 5-0. So if the scores hold the way they are, then Brooks would be in 4th after tonight. Fort McMurray back half a game, as would Energy City. Series between Fort McMurray and the Bombers wraps up tomorrow afternoon at 2:05. Usually it's the Sunday games that start at 2:05. Well, tomorrow will be Saturday at that time. Other games in the league: Moose Jaw leads Swift Current 7-1. Sylvan Lake up 4-0 on Lethbridge. Medicine Hat, they now trail the Weyburn Beavers 7-5. And the Saskatoon Berries, who are trying to set a WCBL record tonight for most wins in a single season, they are tied at 5 apiece with the Regina Red Sox. And Flynn McGahan walks Kai Hopfell. That pitch looked good and over the plate, but the umpire says otherwise. And will now usher up Ben Fischel, who has made it on base in all 3 of his at-bats. The last one, a single into right field. He accounts for 2 of the runs for Brooks. The most dangerous hitter for the Bombers, looking to keep it going. He'll take a strike off of the first pitch from McGahan. Hopfell at first base. A ground ball right to Herkin. He's trying to spin the double play. Gets one. Is it 2? No, it isn't. A fielder's choice as Fischel beat out the throw. There was a little bit of hesitation in the toss from Carter Herkin to Scott Allen. The very least for Fort McMurray, it's 1 away, and Peyton Matthews will now step up to the plate. He hit a single into left field his last at bat, 1 for 2 so far tonight, and he also accounts for one of the runs for Brooks in this game. First pitch low for a ball. Again, if you're the Giants, leave the frustration to the fans. Let them be the ones who get on top of the umpires. Just focus on your game. Focus on the defensive plays and the at-bats. And this one by Matthews is tattooed. It is deep. It's got a vapor trail, and it is gone. A home run by Chicago's Peyton Matthews. And the Bombers now lead this game 6-0. There was no doubt about that hit by Peyton Matthews. One of the best hits you'll see at this ballpark. And the mountain has grown for Fort McMurray. CJ Snowden steps up to the plate. Flew out in foul territory his last at-bat. Missed the first pitch from McGahan. And you can tell the Brooks Bombers are feeling it in their dugout. They've got their swagger. They've got a massive lead. And so far, Fort McMurray does not have an answer. Here's the 1-1 pitch from McGahan. High for a ball. Start to wonder, is maybe fatigue playing a factor in this series? This is the 12th game in 9 days for the Giants. Remember their road trip last week through southern Alberta. They had about 5 or 6 doubleheaders scheduled, with a lot of games postponed due to rain back in June. A lot of miles, a lot of baseball, as Snowden pops it into shallow right field, and hustling to make the catch was Lane Snow. He's on his knees, but he calls off his second baseman, Scott Allen. And that is 2 down for Fort McMurray in the top of the 6th. Troy Morrow, he's now up to bat for the Bombers, an RBI double in his last appearance. Also has a sacrifice fly. So a couple of RBIs to his name so far this evening. First pitch, a skipper. Six runs on 6 hits so far for Brooks in this game. And this one, a line drive, but getting there in time is Connor Rainey. And that will do it for the top of the 6th. A 2-run home run by Peyton Matthews. And Brooks has extended their lead. It's now 6-0. Brian Walters remains in the game for the Brooks Bombers. His team leading this crucial matchup 6-0 on the road. He'll take on Matt Rhodes, who's 0 for 2 so far tonight. Flew out in foul territory his last at-bat, and he takes a strike on his first feed from Walters. Walters has just been economical. He's done his job so far for Brooks. He's now got a 1-1 count against Matt Rhodes in this Battle of Colorado. Another ball low. See the spray of pellets off of the turf. It's Matt Rhodes. He's struggled offensively lately for the Giants, despite winning the home run derby. This time grounds it, and Bastardo makes the play. That's one down for Brooks in the bottom of the 6th.
Vancouver, British Columbia, number 20, Rico Domingo.
Rico Domingo is now up to bat, over 2 so far tonight. Struck out in his last appearance. Domingo, who plays at the Canadian College Baseball National Champions, Okanagan College. Fouls off the first pitch he sees from Brian Walters. Got a .258 batting average so far this year. The highlight of the season for Rico Domingo has to be a home game against Okotoks. Came in to pinch hit in the bottom of the 9th. First pitch, a single up the middle for the game-winning run. I've been told by a couple of the pitchers from the Giants that he calls a very good game as a catcher. He and Nick Sove in recent weeks have been swapping back and forth. 1-1 pitch swung on and missed by Domingo. And he falls in behind of the count to Brian Walters. Walters looking for strikeout number 5 on the night. Misses outside for another ball. He's faced 5 batters in 1 inning once in the 5 that he's played so far this evening. The Bombers' defense has not given Fort McMurray a whole lot of opportunities at the plate. Count is now full between Domingo and Walters. Giants trying to get a runner on first base. Here's the pitch. Fouled off by Domingo. That will land near the concession. And we'll dig in for the 7th pitch of this at-bat. Domingo lines it, but it just floats foul. Got the pitch he was looking for. It looked good initially off of the bat, but the slice pulled it right. And it sends Domingo back to the batting box, where he'll now dig in for his 8th pitch against Brian Walters. And that one finds the inside of the plate. Walters gets strikeout number 5 of the night. And that's 2 down for the Bombers in the bottom of the 6th. Carter Herkin will now step up to the plate. He was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat, 0 for 1 so far tonight. A fastball misses outside by Walters. Not seeing any activity in Brooks's bullpen. Connor Martin is standing in the bullpen for the Giants, but he hasn't started any sort of a warm-up procedure just yet. Martin, who's played in lots so far this season. If he's not pitching, then he's usually in the outfield. 2-0 pitch, fouled off by Herkin. That will land in Bob Campbell Field next door. A litany of kids chasing after that foul ball. A neat little souvenir for a young fan here at Legacy Dodge Field. There's another one that floats into foul territory, but Ormond can't get over in time. And the count is now even between Walters and Herkin. Carter Herkin from Calgary against Colorado's Brian Walters. The 2-2 pitch. Low for a ball. It's another full count. Herkin trying to work Brian Walters and get a runner on base for Fort McMurray. He pokes it, but it's scooped up by Rieker at shortstop. Makes the throw, and it's 3 up, 3 down for the Bombers to end the 6th. Brooks still leads this game 6-0.
This is your last call for 50-50 tickets. You know where to get them. Sales in at the 7th inning. Good luck. Make sure you stick around. It's Fireworks Friday. Right after the last out of the last inning, we got a fireworks show going on for you. Make sure you stick around for Fireworks Friday. Number 15, Liam Kirsch.
Top of the 7th inning, Liam Kirsch will lead out the Brooks Bombers in this crucial game with playoff implications. Brooks leads it 6-0. Elsewhere, the other protagonists in this battle for the final playoff spot in the West Division, the Energy City Cactus Rats, they trail the Okotoks Dogs 5-0 in the top of the 5th. Another ball fouled off by Kirsch, and he's now in behind the count 0-2 with McGahan remaining on the mound. Connor Martin starts his warm-up procedures in the Giants bullpen. The 0-2 pitch from McGahan. Bounces off of the turf for a ball. 4 of the 6 innings so far tonight. The Bombers have been able to get the leadoff man on base. Fort McMurray trying to prevent that here in the 7th. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed by Kirsch, as he is struck out by Flynn McGahan. Fort McMurray hoping that the defense can at least hold the deficit at where it's at. Abdon Bastardo will now step up for Brooks. The single, his last at bat. He's 1 for 3 so far tonight. Takes the strike on his first pitch from McGahan. This time, swinging and missing. And McGahan has an 0-2 advantage in this at-bat. Nigel Label's been walking back and forth between the dressing room and the fence. This one is smacked. It bounces into the outfield. Bastardo's got 2 bases at the very least. Thought about turning for third, but he retreats. And it's a double for the Bombers in the 7th inning. That was well hit by Abdon Bastato. It split the center and right fielder. And he makes it easily into second base for a double with 1 out. Wyatt Ormond now up to bat. He's 0 for 3 so far tonight. Grounded out to Schwemmensen back in the 5th. He's also been struck out in this game, but he takes a ball on his first pitch from McGahan. There's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed by Armand. Evens the count, as Bastardo has been bouncing back and forth at second base, trying to draw the attention of McGahan. Bombers in firm control of this game, up 6-0, thanks to 8 hits. This one popped up by Armand. Rose is trying to find it, as is Snow. Snow bobbles it, drops it. And that will mean runners on the corners for Brooks. Kind of sums up the night for Fort McMurray so far. Snow had it in his glove, and then it bounced out. And that will do it. For Flynn McGahan, he will get the hook and he'll be replaced by Connor Martin. Martin from Abbotsford, British Columbia, attends College of the Desert, where he is a proud road runner. 7th game of the year in terms of pitching. It's 8 strikeouts and 9.2 innings of work. A 3-1 record so far this year. Pitched against Brooks in his last outing on the 23rd, where he was credited with the victory through 3 innings of work. He's going to need some help from the offense if he wants to add to his wins in the decision column. It was an even game through 2 innings. sacrifice fly ball by Troy Morrow brought home Ben Fischel to open the scoring for Brooks. He rang up 3 runs on Liam Taft in the 5th to extend their advantage. And then a 2-run home run by Peyton Matthews in the 6th. Brings us to our current score, 6-0 for Brooks. They have been in firm control of this game since the 5th inning. Other games in the WCBL, Saskatoon Berries looking to break the WCBL record for most wins in a single season. Right now tied at 5 apiece with Regina in the top of the 8th. Medicine Hat trails Weyburn 7-6 in the bottom of the 6th. Energy City, they're behind the Okotoks Dogs 5-0. Sylvan Lake up 4-0 on Lethbridge in the top of the 7th. And the Moose Jaw Miller Express a 9-1 lead on Swift Current in the bottom of the 7th. As we get set for the first pitch from Connor Martin, he'll take on Seth Reeker, who's 2 for 3 this evening. Flew out to left field his last at-bat. Runners on the corners, 1 out. And this is a fly ball into foul territory. Rhodes will leave it. Nobody can get there. A strikeout would be massive from Connor Martin, but if he can even force a double play, that would be even better for Fort McMurray. These two teams will wrap up their 4-game series tomorrow afternoon at 2:05. Another one fouled off by Reeker. This one will make it over the backstop of Bob Campbell Field. This is a little bit of a pickup game that's broke out over there by the kids in attendance. Ground ball. Schwimmenson has it. Throws it to second. Across from Allen in time. That was the best case scenario for Fort McMurray. They get out of the top of the 7th. No runs against. They still trail it 6-0.
DJ
Fort McMurray trying to start a rally, trailing this game against Brooks 6-0 in the bottom of the 7th. Ben Schwimmenson's up to bat for the Giants. A single in his last outing. 1 for 1 as he also reached on base via error in his first at bat, trying to lay down the bunt, but it lands foul. That one almost got caught up in the feet of Ben Schwimmenson, who was confident in his legs. Brian Walters continues to pitch for the Bombers. They've sent a couple more guys down to the bullpen, but nothing yet. That one just missed outside, and it's a 1-1 count against Ben Schwimmenson. Giants were limited to 5 hits last night. They're at 4 so far this evening. Another strike against Ben Schwimmenson. He's now in behind of the count. Oh, and you got a pause. A warning given to Fort McMurray's dugout. Don't know what was said. We know how the fans feel about the umpiring tonight. And this one, it is labeled into the outfield. It'll be a leadoff single by Ben Schwimmenson. And maybe something the Giants can build off of in the 7th inning. Camden Sanders has gone 0 for 2 so far tonight. Struck out his last at-bat in the 4th. Trying to build some momentum in the bottom of the 7th. A pitch well inside that had Sanders bending backwards to get out of the way. This one low for another ball, and Sanders with control of this at-bat. Hopfill calls for time, heads to the mound to have a conversation with Walters. More so of hey, just settle on in. We've got this couple of wry smiles between Hopfill and Walters. Brian Walters already up to 102 pitches in this game, and now the Bombers will start warming someone up in their bullpen. Another one low into the turf. And Sanders with a 3-0 count. Does he stay patient with this next at pitch? Does he get the green light to take a swing? That one finds the inside of the plate. And the count is now 3-1. Potentially Julian Pokorny warming up for the Bombers. Meanwhile, Sanders gets walked by Walters. That will speed up the warm-up procedures in Brooks's bullpen. And it draws Scott Allen to the plate. 1 for 2 so far tonight. Struck out his last at-bat. Showing a bunt. The pitch was high, didn't come all the way around, according to the umpire. This one fouled off by Allen into Brooks's dugout. Giants haven't done a whole lot offensively in this game, and this is a prime opportunity to get themselves off of the mat. Runners on first and second, nobody out, 1-1 pitch. Allen shows bunt. It's right to Walters. Walters will cut across. That'll be a sacrifice bunt by Scott Allen. Advances the runners to second and third. And that will bring Elijah Olable to the plate. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Trying to change that stat line here with runners in scoring position. Be heading to Arkansas this upcoming season. So far, 15 RBIs with the Giants. And a .328 batting average. First pitch, high and inside. That will be a ball. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside for another ball. Olable being patient in this at-bat. The Bombers have their next man ready in the bullpen to replace Brian Walters, who's well over 100 pitches in this game. The 2-0 pitch. Found the plate. And the count is now 2-1. Walters has consistently gone long in his starts for Brooks this season. It's another one which is reaching potentially 7 innings, but he misses high, and the count is now 3-1 in favor of Olable. Elijah Olable trying to break the goose egg in the Giants' score. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Outside, it's another walk. That will load the bases. And it will also bring up Connor Rainey. Brooks not ready to switch their pitcher just yet. Rainey 1 for 3 this evening, hit a single his last at-bat. That was thanks to some miscommunication between Kirsch and Rieker, and now there's going to be a meeting, and it looks like indeed they will, or will they change the pitcher? It looks like they're going to. .113 pitches thrown by Walters so far in this game. A long conversation, but shaking of the hands. The ball's been taken out of the glove of Walters. And we will get a pitching change by the Bombers. Believe it's Julian Picorni from Keller, Texas. Not 100% sure, however, as the Bombers, white numbers on a bright blue jersey and nothing on the front to indicate who's who. And from our vantage point, well, it stinks. Julian Picorni, who attends University of Science and Arts in Oklahoma. junior at the Oklahoma University. A team that went 35-20 this past season. Corney, it'll be his 13th appearance of the season for the Bombers. Has one save to his name, 39 strikeouts and 38.2 innings pitched. Played 5 innings against Energy City back on the 27th, where he was credited with the loss in the 10-4 decision. Gave up 7 runs and 5 hits in that contest, but he did rack up 5 strikeouts. Has a lot of runway with the 6-0 lead, but the Giants loading the bases with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Knocking on the door, trying to break the shutout bid. And it will be Connor Rainey up at the plate. And here is a player that would love to find his groove offensively. Connor Rainey against Julian Picorni. First pitch fouled off by Rainey, as he was expecting a little bit of heat from Picorni. Giants cannot afford to waste this opportunity, trailing the game by 6. The next pitch, it connects against Connor Rainey. And that will be a run scored for the Giants. A freebie, if you will. They have busted the goose egg. It's now 6-1. And Lane Snow will step up to bat. Bases still loaded. 1 out. Snow has hit a couple of home runs here at Legacy Dodge Field. First pitch was over his head, and a terrific job by Kai Hopfel. That athletic play, if he does not pull it off, would have seen Camden Sanders come home to score. And it remains 6-1. Next pitch. Oh, that just missed. It looked good from our vantage point. Instead, it's now a 2-0 count, and the Bombers immediately start warming up another arm in their bullpen. This one finds the zone for a strike. Lane Snow waiting for the right pitch. Luis Gallardo is the man warming up for the Bombers from Red Deer, Alberta. Brooks hoping they won't need to use him. This one by Snow. Floater scooped up on the play by Bastardo. A sliding catch that was slicing towards the outfield. And that's 2 down for Brooks. They will now go head-to-head against Matt Rhodes. He's been ice cold with the bat in his hands as of late. But with bases loaded, his team needing him here, this would be a prime opportunity for him to bust the snide. First pitch outside for a ball. Even if you are worried about this hitter for the Brooks Bombers, you have no choice but to take him on.
Thank you very much.
He's 0 for 3 so far this evening. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Rhodes pops it up. It's high, it's floating towards the netting. Hopfeld will come across and he makes the grab. That will get the Bombers out of this troubled position. Rhodes slams his bat down in frustration. Fort McMurray does get one on the board, but they still trail this game 6-1. Top of the 8th inning, Brooks leads this game 6-1. Connor Martin, the pitcher for the Giants. He'll take on catcher Kai Hopfill to start the 8th. As there's a bit of a delay in the proceedings before they start the inning. And for the first time in this game, despite the fact they have not been consistent with it, asking the Bombers to move their net from the bullpen. That's the only thing that fans, players, coaches ask is for consistency. Have not seen it this evening. And second pitch from Martin inside for his second ball against Kai Hopfeld. Took a walk in his last at-bat, 0 for 2 so far this evening. Had a solid game last night where he went 2 for 4 and was creating things for the Bombers. Right now, patient at the plate. Trying to force Connor Martin into an error. The 3-0 pitch. Finds the zone. Fans trying to get involved here at Legacy Dodge Field. This one fouled off by Hopfeld. And it's another souvenir for a young fan at Bob Campbell Field next door. It's a full count between Martin and Hopfeld. Bombers lead it 6-1. That one fouled off into the backstop. And this at-bat continues between Martin and Hopfeld. Ben Fischel waiting in the on-deck circle. He's made it on base in each of his 4 at-bats. All unique. Fielder's choice, single, hit by pitch, error as well. Meanwhile, it's the full count pitch from Connor Martin. High, and that will be a walk. As the 5th time in this game, the Bombers have gotten the leadoff man on base. And now with Ben Fischel stepping up to the plate, the most dangerous hitter on this Brooks team. You're looking to keep the momentum going. First pitch takes it for a strike. Connor Martin just trying to be consistent. Keep things within reach for Fort McMurray. His next pitch. Curve just inside for another ball. There's a bright sign, at least tonight. Energy City trails Okotoks 6-0 in the bottom of the 6th. That one fell back by Fischel, who loses his footing and falls on his rear. He'll reset as he prepares for the 1-2 count. Other action, Curry Fields in Regina. Red Sox, Saskatoon Berries tied at 5, top of the 9th. Saskatoon looking to set the league record for most wins in a regular season tonight. Weyburn leads Medicine Hat 7-6. Sylvan Lake now up 6-0 on Lethbridge. And it's not even close at Ross Wales Park in Moose Jaw. Miller Express 16, Swift Current 1. Meanwhile, Ben Fischel gets set for the 2-2 pitch from Connor Martin. And it's in there for a strike. Fischel doesn't agree. Lots of words for the umpire. They're arguing back and forth. Fischel pointing more words. And somehow, despite his tirade, he remains in the game. Showing there's a long leash in this game. Bombers lead it 6-1. Peyton Matthews is now up to bat. And the last time he was at the plate, his 2-run home run into right field in the 6th. He was looking for that fence once again, swung on him, missed the first pitch from Connor Martin. Matthews 2 for 3 so far tonight. A single with that home run in his last 2 at-bats. Has a runner at first, 1 out. Swung on and missed this curveball from Connor Martin. Martin settling into this game. In some ways, he's been Mr. Everything for Fort McMurray, whether it's in the outfield or on the mound. The 1-2 pitch. Low, and that will be ball number 2. There's a little bit of activity in Fort McMurray's bullpen. Looks like Koufax Kramer is the man warming up. Meanwhile, the 2-2 pitch from Martin. Ooh, a heater that backed Matthews off of the plate. That was close and missed him by mere inches. The count, though, is now full between Martin and Matthews. Peyton Matthews, a couple of words with the umpire, but nothing more than that. And he struck out! Matthews was turning to walk to first base. He chucked his bat before he realized he was out. Not as demonstrative with his comments to the umpire on his way back to the dugout. And now CJ Snowden will step up to the plate. Flew out to right field his last at-bat. He'll foul off the first pitch he sees from Connor Martin. Runner on first, 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th inning, Fort McMurray trails this game 6-1. Rico Domingo will start things off against Julian Picorni. Picorni managed to get the Bombers out of a jam, but the first pitch by Domingo pulls it down the third base line. This will be extra bases for Rico Domingo, and the leadoff man for Fort McMurray gets a double. Giants are trying to give themselves a chance in this massive showdown at Legacy Dodge Field, featuring 2 of 3 teams separated by half a game, battling for the 4th and final playoff spot in the West Division. Carter Herkin up to bat. A ball on the first pitch that he sees. It looked true from up here, but Sean Weatherall says otherwise. 0 for 2 so far tonight as Carter Herkin grounded out to the shortstop his last at bat. But now he's got Rico Domingo at second base. This one misses, and it's ball number 2. Bottom of the 9th at Curry Field. Saskatoon, Regina still tied at 5 apiece. And the Berries trying to break a WCBL record for most wins in a single season. They'll have 3 games to do so. And it was announced earlier that one of the games that was rained out between the Berries and the Medicine Hat Mavericks will not be rescheduled. Another ball thrown to Carter Herkin. He's up in the count, 3-1 against Pickerney. Runner on second, nobody out. 3-1 pitch is popped into foul territory. And it's now going to be a full count between Carter Herkin and Julian Pickerney. Keller, Texas against Calgary, Alberta. Here's the full count pitch. Popped in the air. Underneath it is Ormond. And he'll make the catch just before colliding with the netting at Brooks's dugout. And that's one away for the Bombers. Schwimenson's made it on base in every at-bat so far tonight. 2 for 2. As well as reaching first base on an error. Pair of singles to his name as he now has hits in 8 of his last 9. The first pitch inside. Hopfeld bobbled it and almost found the rib cage of Schwemenson. Schwemenson from Calgary, Alberta will reset. The 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed. It's a small sample size at the collegiate level for Julian Pickerney, but earned runs average at 115. He's playing at the NAIA level. Next pitch high for a ball. Giants are trying to find a spark offensively. They managed to load the bases in the 7th. They got 1 home, but that was it. They now have Rico Domingo in scoring position. Schwemenson swung on and missed. And the count reads 2-2. Top of the 10th at Curry Field. Saskatoon leads it 6-5. The other protagonists in the battle for the 4th and final playoff spot in the West Division. Energy City trails Okotoks 7-0 in the bottom of the 7th. So in the East, potentially history. In the West, the playoff picture takes another turn. As things stand, Brooks will end tonight in possession of 4th place. But the Giants aren't done quite yet, looking for a comeback. Schremensen, a ground ball, diving, knocking it down is Bastardo, but he can't get a throw off. It's going to be a single for Ben Schremensen, as there's no hope of the second baseman making a play on that hit. Domingo makes it to third. And runners on the corners for Fort McMurray as Camden Sanders steps up to bat. Camden Sanders, 0 for 2 so far this evening. Walked his last at-bat. He would love to bring home Rico Domingo. Two on, one out. Giants down by 5, trying to give themselves a chance. Activity in Brooks's bullpen. First pitch finds the inside of the plate for a strike. Koufax Kramer is standing in Fort McMurray's bullpen. He looks ready to come out for the 9th inning. Meanwhile, the 0-1 pitch pushed foul by Sanders. And he's now in behind, 0-2. Another pitch fouled off by Camden Sanders. He stays alive. Bottom of the order, Scott Allen waiting to come up to bat. Sacrifice bunt his last time out. Might not be in that same position here, however. The 0-2 pitch. Did he come around? No indication, but Sean Weatherall says yes. And it's a strikeout. 2 away for Brooks in the bottom of the 8th. The Bombers were looking for an appeal, but they didn't need one. Now it's Scott Allen at the plate. A run would put the Giants at least in striking distance, but the first pitch fouled off by Allen. It's been a couple times in this game where Fort McMurray has gotten runners in prime position, including bases loaded, but they have very little to show for it so far in this game. 0-1 pitch, high for a ball. That can all be forgotten here, however. Scott Allen finds a way to bring at least one home. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Picorni. It's popped into shallow center field. Underneath of it will be Fischel to make the catch. And that will do it for 8 innings at Legacy Dodge Field. Giants still trail the game 6-1.
That number again is 184 379 44. You can throw your prize right now at the 50-50 table, which is $1,150. And she's right out the day for the County TV. Friday fireworks are going to happen. Make sure you see the rest of the fireworks action. Come on, Amy Murray. 26, Troy Morrow.
Troy Morrow steps up to the plate for the Brooks Bombers as we're in the top of the 9th inning. Fort McMurray trailing this game 6-1. Energy City trailing the Okotoks Dogs 7-0. Bottom of the 10th at Curry Field, Berries lead the Regina Reds. Oh, words given. And somebody just got tossed out of Fort McMurray's dugout. Looks like it might be Pelham Stanton. And not by home play umpire Sean Weatherall, but by first place umpire Connor Watt. Stanton continues to have words. Taft is also involved. There's an argument over who should be getting tossed here, but it looks like they decided it's going to be Stanton. He slams the gate in frustration. And after what we saw earlier in this game with Ben Fischel being demonstrative towards Sean Weatherall not getting tossed, and that's what gets called? Like we said earlier, fans, players, managers, all they want is consistency. And we have not seen it so far in this game. Well, explanation is wrapped up. Stanton ejected from the game. Taft remains in the dugout as he's standing at the top of the step, yelling on the field. 1-1 pitch from Connor Martin, high for a ball. And we'll continue this at-bat against Troy Morrow. Did he come around? Yes, he did, and that will even the count at 2-2. Morrow lined out to center fielder Connor Rainey his last at-bat. Has a handful of RBIs to his name tonight as well. And now he's battling Connor Martin, facing a full count. Nobody on, no outs. This one is belted, but it's going to float foul, fortunately for the Giants. If that was fair, that would have been a home run. Instead, the at-bat continues, and we get ready for the 7th pitch from Connor Martin. Here's the throw. It's fouled off once again by Troy Morrow. And it continues on with the leadoff man and Connor Martin. Here's the feed. And that will be a walk. For the 6th time tonight, the Bombers will get the leadoff man on base. Liam Kirsch will step up to the plate. He's 0 for 3 tonight, struck out his last at-bat. New person warming up in the bullpen for the Giants. We get the feeling that Connor Martin will probably take him to the end of the game. First pitch to Kirsch, fouled off. Kirsch, a red shirt freshman at Indiana State University. Sycamores went 24-31 this past season, including 12 and 15 in the Missouri Valley Conference. Looks like a little bit of miscommunication between Abbotsford's Connor Martin and Vancouver's Rico Domingo, so they'll have a quick discussion. Indiana State, they did make the Missouri Valley tournament. They were pelted by Illinois State Redbirds 14-4. We're back at this at bat. 0-1 count. Runner on first. Another ball fouled off by Liam Kirsch. And Connor Martin's in control of this at bat. Still miscommunication between pitcher and catcher. Finally, they settle on a pitch. And this one fouled off once again by Liam Kirsch. Runner on first, nobody out. Bombers lead this game 6-1. And a final out of Curry Field. Walk-off fashion, the Regina Red Sox defeat the Saskatoon Berries, so history will wait at least another day. That was a game that went back and forth. Regina was up 4-0. Saskatoon, they took a 5-4 lead. Regina ties it. It goes to extra. Saskatoon a 6-5 lead, and then Regina wins it in the bottom of the 10th. And there's a strikeout by Connor Martin, his 4th of the game. And Amdon Bastardo will now come up to the plate for Brooks.
Number 27, Amdon Bastardo.
A double his last at bat, a single before that. He's 2 for 4 so far this evening. Other games in the WCBL, Sylvan Lake up 7-0 on Lethbridge. Okotoks also a 7-0 lead on Energy City in the top of the 8th. Couple of finals. Weyburn defeats Medicine Hat 7-6. That will snap Medicine Hat's 8-game win streak. Moose Jaw Miller Express hammer this with current 57, 16-1. The 2 longest active winning streaks both broken today as Pistardo squeezes one into the outfield for a single. Be his 3rd hit of the night. And to finish that previous point, it shows that the games are not played on paper, they're played on the field. And there's another hesitation in the play, as now umpires are looking towards Brooks's dugout. Are they sending in a pinch runner? They might be. Bastardo might have tweaked something in the process. There's a lot of chirping going on between the Brooks Bombers and the fans as Bastardo a gesture towards the crowd before he's shoved into the dugout by his teammates. Things have been getting unruly here at Legacy Dodge Field. Emotions have run high in this crucial 4-game series between 2 teams battling for the final playoff spot in the West Division. Wyatt Ormond up at the plate, takes a ball on his first pitch from Connor Martin. Next one misses low. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Brooks leads this game 6-1. 10 hits, 1 error. Giants 1 run on 7 hits and 1 error. This one's popped into right field. Snow trying to track it on down, and he misread it completely. It lands. Everyone will be safe. And the bases are loaded with 1 out. It will count as a hit, but Snow somehow was in a different zip code from the ball when it landed. Almost like he lost it in the lights. And Brooks primed to add to their lead in the top of the 9th. Seth Reeker, 2 for 4 so far tonight. Did ground out in a double play his last at bat, but this one, he'll punch it into center field. Rainey trying to find it. He can't. It lands. That is back-to-back hits that the Giants lose the ball in the lights. The Bombers will add 1 to their lead. And that might do it for Connor Martin. Koufax Kramer is warmed up and ready to go in the bullpen. Arm around the shoulder of Connor Martin. Can't blame him. The Giants should be out of this inning. But Lane Snow and Connor Rainey losing the ball in the lights. No, they will keep Martin in the contest. Kai Hopko now up at the plate, walked his last 2 at-bats. Bases loaded, 1 out. Bombers primed to take over 4th place in the West Division. And it's quite remarkable, really, when you think about where the Bombers were at the start of July. It looked like they were out of the race entirely in 6. As this one, it's over the head of Connor Rainey. He can't make the catch, bobbles it in center field. One comes to score. A second one comes over the throw to home, not in time. And the Bombers now lead it 9-1. And now that will end the night for Connor Martin. Koufax Kramer will come into the game. It's just been a frustrating evening for the Giants, as the entire lineup rallies to Connor Martin and gives him a tap. They know that should be out of the inning, but instead they're now down big. It'll be Kramer's 10th appearance of the year. This game has unraveled from the Giants. They're going to need to rally and find a way to come back with a massive win tomorrow to keep themselves in the hunt for that playoff spot. Yes, the Bombers have played one more game than the other 2 opponents, but you want to have your own fate in your hands. especially when you go up against Energy City on Sunday and a doubleheader Monday in Spruce Grove. The Bombers, a streaky team, struggled out of the gates, caught fire in July, fought their way back into the playoff race, and after tonight, they will be sitting in 4th place in the West. They'll be half a game up on Fort McMurray and Energy City. The 4th and final game of this series between these two teams will go tomorrow afternoon at 2:05. Energy City will take on the Sylvan Lake Gulls. And the first pitch from Kramer is smacked into the center field, scooped by Rainey. He'll make the throw to home, but it's off the mark. Rieker scores, and it's now 10-1 for Brooks. A sacrifice fly by Ben Fischel, who's had a terrific night. And Peyton Matthews will step up to the plate. His game highlighted by a 2-run home run in the 6th inning. A no-doubter. And he'll smash this one into the outfield. Rainey has it. They'll hold up Hopfill at 3rd. A single for Peyton Matthews. Runners on the corner. And the Giants are trying to get out of the top of the 9th, where they've given up 4 runs. C.J. Snowden struck out his last at-bat. As the Bombers are poised to go through the order here in the 9th. Pitch by Kramer in the strike zone. Defensive indifference allows Matthews to make it to second base. Oh, 1 pitch finds the zone. Strike number 2. Snowden wants an explanation of how that found the plate. Slams his bat on the plate with a couple of words to Sean Wetherell. And this is a situation where you like to see the Brooks Bombers just settle it down. They're already up big in this game. Throw from Schrumenson in time, and that will do it for the top of the 9th. Brooks adds 4. They lead it 10-1. Bottom of the ninth, Giants down big, and that means we'll see some pinch hitters in this inning. First up will be Lucas Marcello, an Ontario product. Marcello, who's from Mississauga, attends Sheridan College. A ball on the first pitch he sees. 26 at-bats so far this year. 3 hits to his name, but he does have 2 RBIs. Pitched last night, swings at this one and misses. Evens the count at 1-1. It appears Picorni is still on the mound for the Bombers. They'll be quite happy only using the 2 pitchers tonight. Keeps their bullpen fresh for the 4th and final game of this series tomorrow. And then a home and home against Lethbridge after that. Picorni digs in and gets set for the 2-1 pitch against Lucas Marcello. Finds the zone for a strike. It's a situation for the Giants. How quick do they find the reset button? The dying stages of the season. This ball's right up the middle, sliding and knocking it down is Reeker, but not in time. Marcello will get to first for a leadoff single. And now another pinch hitter for the Giants. Fort McMurray's own Braden Ionetti will step up to bat. This is the first action he has seen all season for the Giants. Last time he played, the 2023 playoffs against the Okotoks Dogs. 2 games in that series. He went 0 for 6 at the dish. I remember game 2 of that series, caught with Matt Whitney on the mound, who used to be the ace here in Fort McMurray, now playing with the Saskatoon Berries. And quickly, Ionetti 0 for 2 at the plate. Does have 2 career runs. Looking for his first career WCBL hit. Picorni gets the signal. This pitch just misses, and the count is now 2-2. Lane Snow will be up to bat next. Marcello on first, nobody out. Fouled off by Ionetti. Stays alive against Julian Picorni. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to second baseman. Bastardo will make the play. Marcello advances to second, and that's 1 down for the Bombers in the bottom of the 9th.
Now hitting number 21, Lane Snow.
Lane Snow will hit next for the Giants. And there is another pinch hitter in the at-bat circle for Fort McMurray. Ryder Duncan will get set. First pitch to Snow, low for a ball. So many new faces lately with this Fort McMurray roster. It helps when you have Riley Burns up here to point out who's who. 1-0 pitch. Fastball just misses. And it's ball number 2. Snow from Fort Worth, Texas. 1 for 4 so far tonight. Had a double in the first. Swung on and missed this next pitch. And the count is now 2-1. Another ball thrown. A tight call. Count is now 3-1 against Lane Snow. Energy City, top of the 9th, trailing Okotoks 7-1. All other games in the league have gone to final, including Sylvan Lake shutting out Lethbridge 7-0. This one poked by Snow, but just recovering is Ben Fischel. And that's the second man down in this 9th inning. The Giants are down to their final out. They'll turn to their third pinch hitter, Ryder Duncan, from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Will be his 5th game of the year, still looking for his first career hit in the WCBL. He's 0 for 12 so far this season. Plays at Vancouver Island University with the Mariners. A junior who has put up 11 doubles, 8 home runs on 52 career hits. Batting average so far of .239 at the collegiate level. The Mariners went 14-18 this last season, 1-2 at the Canadian College Baseball Championships. This will be the first time the home fans at Legacy Dodge Field will get a look at Ryder Duncan. Marcello at second, Fort McMurray down to their final out. They trail this game 10-1. First pitch. Swinging and missing is Duncan. There is a little bit of activity in Brooks's bullpen right now, although feels unlikely they will need it. Pokerny thought he found the zone, but he just missed. There was a word barked by one of the Bombers, and immediately catcher Hopfeld goes, easy does it. We're up big already in this game. 1-1 pitch, fouled off by Duncan. And the Giants are now down to their final strike. Duncan, who stands at 6'5". The 1-2 pitch misses. It's a wild pitch. Marcello will advance to third. First wild pitch of the game by the Bombers. And now the catcher, Hopfeld, reaching into his eyes to get a piece of rubber bounce into his eye, perhaps. That is always a possibility on the artificial turf here at Legacy Dodge Field. That, an eyelash, a lost contact. Either way, it's delaying proceedings late in this game with his Bombers up 10-1. I have a feeling the last thing anybody here at Legacy Dodge Field wants to see is a delay to get a new catcher in. Looks like Hopville is good to go. Everyone resets. It's a 2-2 count to Ryder Duncan. Julian Picerni trying to end the game on this batter. Marcello standing at third. 2-2 pitch. Bombers thought that was going to end the game. Instead, it's ruled the ball, and it's a full count against Ryder Duncan. Duncan has struck out in 8 of his 12 at-bats so far. And he'll strike out for the 9th time this year. That will do it. Bombers win convincingly. And they will end the night in possession of 4th place in the West Division. These two teams will battle in what could be the final game at Legacy Dodge Field this year. Tomorrow afternoon, 2:05 first pitch. We will see you there.